According to multiple sources, including the New York Times and CBS News, the incident occurred during the congressman's visit to the region. Now, let's take a closer look at what happened. Congressman Khanna, who is a Democrat from California, was visiting the West Bank as part of a trip to learn more about the situation on the ground. He has been an outspoken advocate for Palestinian rights and has criticized Israel's actions in the region. During his visit, he was reportedly stopped by Israeli settlers who detained him for over an hour. The incident is significant, not just because of the congressman's high profile, but also because it highlights the ongoing tensions between Israelis and Palestinians in the West Bank. The region has been a flashpoint for violence and controversy, with many countries considering Israeli settlements there to be illegal under international law. It's worth noting that Congressman Khanna's experience is not an isolated incident. There have been reports of increasing violence by Israeli settlers against Palestinians in the West Bank, as well as allegations of human rights abuses by Israeli forces. The United Nations has documented over 1,000 Palestinian deaths in the West Bank and eastern Jerusalem since the war in Gaza began. We want to hear from you, our listeners. What do you think about this developing story? Do you have any thoughts on the situation in the Middle East? You can reach us through our website or on social media. As we continue to follow this story, it's essential to remember that the conflict between Israelis and Palestinians is complex and multifaceted. There are many different perspectives and experiences, and it's crucial to approach the issue with empathy and understanding. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're continuing our global news roundup, bringing you the latest stories from around the world. Let's dive into some of the top headlines. We have several developing stories to share with you today. In sports, Morocco is still reeling after their defeat to France in the World Cup, while Spain has advanced to the semi-finals after a late strike against Belgium. French fans are now eagerly awaiting their team's next match, wondering which opponent they'll face next. In other news, the European Parliament has adopted a resolution calling for the terrorist listing of Sudan's Rapid Support Forces following attacks in El Obeid. The EU is taking a strong stance on this issue and will be keeping a close eye on developments. Meanwhile, in environmental news, wildfires are raging across southern Europe, with 1,500 people evacuated from campsites near Perpignan in France. The situation is being closely monitored, and firefighters are working tirelessly to contain the blazes. We're also following stories in China, where over 1 million people have been evacuated as Typhoon Bavi approaches, and in Sudan, where the EU is calling for action against the Rapid Support Forces. In addition, we have updates on other global stories, including a court ruling in Kenya regarding Rastafarians' use of cannabis, and a lawsuit filed by Ugandan farmers against a UK company involved in the East African crude oil pipeline project. These are just a few of the many stories making headlines today. We're committed to bringing you fair and balanced coverage of global news without bias or sensationalism. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Reports are emerging of a recent Russian strike on Kyiv, which has left at least 10 people wounded. The attack, which included ballistic missiles and drones, has sparked concerns about the city's air defense capabilities. According to Ukrainian officials, Russia launched 6 ballistic missiles, 6 cruise missiles, and 121 drones, with Ukraine's Air Force managing to down at least 2 cruise missiles and 111 drones. The strike damaged several buildings, including a non-residential building and an office building, and caused a fire at a transformer substation. This latest attack is part of a larger pattern of increased Russian aggression against Kyiv, with over 60 people killed in strikes on the capital and surrounding region so far this month. Ukraine has been struggling to keep up with the pace of these attacks, particularly given its limited air defense munitions. it's essential to note that both sides have reported losses and damage, and the situation remains complex and multifaceted. As the international community continues to monitor the situation, it's crucial to prioritize a nuanced understanding of the conflict and its various stakeholders. As we conclude today's segment, we urge our listeners to stay informed about this developing story and to support efforts towards a peaceful resolution. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.